I used to be a binge eater, and every time it happened, I was so hard on myself. Guilt and shame and bloatedness and puffiness and all the things that absolutely drove me wild. And I always felt like it was my fault. I always felt like it was a willpower. I always felt like there was something deeper wrong with me that I couldn't figure out. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you why there's nothing wrong with you and what actually causes this whole binge eating thing so you can break free for good. Okay, so like I mentioned, I binge ate for, 12 plus years, on and off track, roller coaster, dieting, terrible cycle, gained and lost the same weight. It was really hard. And for about 7 years of my journey, I truly thought that dieting was the only answer. And if I just found the right fitness or nutrition plan, I would be able to control my eating and have the body that I desired. And that didn't work. The more I dieted, the more crazy my eating got. Even when I switched methodologies to more like holistic healing and coaching, meaning like I was eating nourishing things and taking care of myself instead of dieting, that hyper focus on the food and eating perfectly according to a plan, it really disconnects you from yourself. And the dieting actually is what causes the survival response in the brain that drives binge eating. Binge eating is a response to deprivation in the body. It is not a willpower problem. And the more out of control you feel, the more you want to typically tighten the reins, cut out sugar, cut out carbs, all the things. I did it. That will leave you feeling more out of control because it puts the brain and body in a state that has you think about food more, eat more food. And so the big takeaway from this is if you've been dieting, it is not your fault in any way, shape, or form because the dieting is what is causing the binge eating, not your willpower and not you. And it's not even your fault you picked up dieting because it literally is in every crevice of our society, every magazine, everything, right? Our society almost programs us that that's the only way to be healthy. So that's one category. Another category, and not all of these might apply to you, but I'm assuming one will. Another category is people who never really dieted, or maybe they were told they should diet, but somehow they started this thing with food where they used food to escape. So they had something happen to them when they were children. They had an unstable environment. Nothing happened to them when they were children. Something happened to them later in life, and they started using food in the case of self-sabotage. Most people still had some dieting mixed in there for the most part, or messaging about their body size or dieting. And sometimes bigger traumas, bigger things in life, bigger things happening can lead us to go to things like food for coping, go to things like food for feeling safe, go to things like food to escape our emotions and our feelings. And once again, this isn't your fault either. And this isn't like just because something happened with you and you developed a defense strategy to support you through it, especially at a young age, like nothing's wrong with you because of that happened, right? Nothing's wrong with you because your body and your brain developed a defense strategy to support you through whatever thing it is that you were dealing with. And so once again, not a willpower problem, literally just a defense strategy. And part of healing is knowing, hey, I don't need this defense strategy anymore. I am able to go through life feeling safe without using food. And that takes me to the third category. And it's not really even a category. It's the one thing I want you to be careful of. You know, this whole theory or this whole belief around binge eating being linked to something deeper, it can be, and it also doesn't have to be. So you don't have to go heal your trauma, heal your crisis, heal all these things to be free of binge eating. Is it helpful to release yourself from trauma, learn coping mechanisms and all this stuff? Yes, go do that so you can live a free, amazing life. And you can stop the pattern of binge and emotional eating whether or not all the trauma and stuff is healed. And the reason is because whether your binge eating happened from dieting or whether your binge eating is largely emotionally driven, normally it's a cross of both, regardless, it has created a pattern, an automatic pattern that's been repeated over time. And just like you could, say you work and you drive home and one day you get in your driveway and you're like, how on earth did I get home? You just automatically went. Your body knows how to get you home. Your brain knows how to get you home. You're so used to doing it. It's like oh my God, I'm in my driveway now. How did I get here, right? Same thing with binge eating, same thing with overeating, right? These patterns get ingrained and the patterns get very automatic. The brain's trying to make things automatic. So your brain's like working to ingrain your behavior in you. And don't let this discourage you. What's really phenomenal is if these patterns have been ingrained from either of those two things we just talked about, you can actually rewrite a new pattern for yourself through healing, through, stopping dieting, through really practicing and shifting your relationship with food. You can create this automatic way of being that's really, that's easy, that's natural, that you don't have to fight the binging and overeating, that you don't have to fight your body anymore, that things just become second nature and a part of who you are. And that's what I want for you. So if you need help getting there, be sure to go to the link below this video or in this post someplace. There is a free training there that will show you how to rewire your brain from this place of binge eating to a place of what we call food freedom forever, which is freedom and peace with your food and body, so you can focus on what truly matters in your life. So be sure to go get that training now. It is so helpful. And if you liked this video, come back to the channel, subscribe. We release videos just like this on all topics ranging from food freedom, loving your body, and living a life you love every Tuesday. So get the training, click subscribe, share this if you found it interesting, and I will see you in the next video. The training that I have in the description just below this video, or the link, just click someplace around this, that training is going to be what supports you with getting there.